Have you ever felt like something is off, but you can't quite put your finger on exactly what it is? I had an epiphany recently about how having less debt makes me feel different. Stay tuned and see if you can relate. Thank you for listening to the Debt Free Dad podcast, where we help you take control of your finances so you can live a happier, less stressful life. I am Kati Hatfield, your host for today's episode, and I've been on my journey to debt freedom for 6 years now, and I have paid off over $169,903 in student loans, car loans, medical bills, credit card debt, and that's all on a single income. Wow. Every time I track my progress on this journey, I am shocked by the numbers. I am so glad that Brad, the founder of Debt Free Dad, encourages everyone to track your progress, because when you're working little by little, day by day, you don't really feel how far you've truly moved that needle. You need to take a step back every so often, zoom out, see the bigger picture. That giant boulder of debt that you've just been chiseling away at is actually getting smaller. That's also why we celebrate those steps along the way, not just when you pay off your car or that credit card balance, but when you have an extra $20 and you put it in savings instead of aimlessly wandering the aisles at the store and squandering it, which was me at Target for many years. So, yesterday I woke up to my alarm. Even though I needed to get ready for work, I decided to crawl back into bed for 20 minutes. And yes, I did set an alarm again just in case. But as I was snuggling back under the blankets, I had a pretty random, but I feel like fairly significant thought. I love how much I genuinely laugh again. So you have to understand that I think my life tends to be a constant comedy of errors, just here to entertain others. Crazy and funny things just happen to me. So I laugh a lot, sometimes not until after the fact, because hindsight is 2020. But I come from a family that is lovingly playful, joking and teasing, sarcasm. Just laughter is a sweet medicine for the soul. But if you are stressed out and feeling burnt out, especially when it comes to your finances, it's harder to find things to laugh about sometimes. So you're busy trying to figure out where the money is going to come from to cover your bills, or you're working extra hours picking up another shift or a second job to bring in extra income. You have less time to relax. Like, you fall into bed every night exhausted, one day after the other. And when you do decide to go out and splurge on ice cream, only to have it spill all over the front seat of your car. Or you drop your laptop and it doesn't quite close right anymore, and you're starting to look at the cost of replacing it. Or you trip over a silly curb and really mess up your knee, so you need crutches, x-rays, an MRI, therapy, and all those medical bills are really starting to add up quick. Okay, so maybe I'm just admitting how clumsy I really am, and for my friends and family, that's not really a secret. But when you're already feeling the pressure of having more month than money, and you're living direct deposit to direct deposit, those little things that should make you shake your head and at least chuckle a little really have you feeling panicked and anxious. I have been in that space so many times. I understand how it feels, and I have been plugging along, just making that conscious effort to change my habits and behaviors and watching where I walk over the last 6 years. And again, I can't believe it's been 6 years already. And I probably have about 2 years left to go. But the difference now, even though I still have debt to pay off, I have savings for emergencies. I have a monthly budget. I look at my finances every day, so I know what's coming in and out of my bank account. I'm not just haphazardly wandering the aisles of Target anymore. And when I do go shopping, I have a list that I try to stick to. and never ever go shopping on an empty stomach. Poor and costly choices tend to be made when that happens. But when I do decide to go out for a night out with my friends, I've got money in the budget for fun. So I'm not stressing about it. I'm actually being present and enjoying the time with my friends. I recently took my little sister to a concert as a belated 40th birthday gift, and we calculated that while we see each other every week, every other week, it had been almost 19 years since we'd gone to a concert together. It was a great night, lots of new memories and laughing. And the price of the concert was actually pretty minimal, but compared to that priceless time together, I'll just be honest that, well, I used to splurge and be right up front leaning against the stage. The older I get, the more I do appreciate having an actual seat to sit in. And I'm wearing my comfy shoes. Function over fashion is my motto. It does make the next day a little more enjoyable and saves your hearing too. But the path to a life without payments does not mean you have to give up all things fun. It might just be a short term, temporary period where you really evaluate where your money is going. And if you usually go out, let's say on Friday and Saturday nights, what if you just pick one night to stay in or pick something to do that doesn't cost as much? There's a lot of really creative ways to have a date night in or out of the house. And there's lots of free activities going on throughout the summer, especially, but all seasons, no matter where you live. You can Google free things to do in your city, and there's probably a number of things that you might not have thought of doing before. So, what if you stop grabbing dinner at the drive through every week and save that money for one nice dinner out every month? Or the money you could save and the memories you could make with your family by making dinner at home together. Have a picnic in the backyard or on the living room floor if it's too hot or too cold out. And when's the last time you all looked up from your screens and built a proper pillow fort? Adults, you can do this too, not just for kids. When I was a kid, we usually had one night a week, I think it was Fridays or Sundays, where we got to have frozen pizza for dinner. We popped popcorn and enjoyed a family friendly show or movie on TV. And it was probably a VHS tape that we had seen a dozen times already. But now that I'm an adult, I'm pretty sure my parents did that because they were exhausted and they didn't want to cook dinner that night. And it kept us kids quiet for an hour or so. But I might not remember what we watched, but I definitely still look back at those nights as cherished family memories. And of course, when I don't feel like cooking, I always have a frozen pepperoni pizza ready to go. But if you're feeling that stress and pressure, also please know you are not alone. Out of every 10 people, about 6 or 7 are also struggling with their finances. But since money can be such a taboo topic that we're embarrassed to talk about with family or friends, the Debt Free Dad was really created to be a place for everyday people to share that struggle, share some tips with each other, ideas that can help each other out, and not feeling ashamed, not feeling alone. So, if that's you, please keep listening to our podcast and check out more resources available on debtfreedad.com. Until next time, take care.